For Tri-City Community Magazine, I'm Kimberly McLeod, here with Suzanne Kyra, who you are a multitude of different things. You're an author, an inspirational speaker, a clinical counselor. How did you come on this path, and where do you see yourself going?
I came on this path, I think, just by the virtue of my personality. As a young child, I've always been really curious, how could I do things differently, or why do people do what they do? And so it's just been a passion of looking at how to help people live in a way that is, more enriching, more empowering. And so I became a clinical counselor. People invited me to do speaking engagements. Then I was invited to do workshop leaders, and to do workshops, and it just seemed as if I was continually being invited. And I've always had books written in my head, and I started writing manuscripts, and I came out with this book with my son. And the vision is some days to create a foundation for living with peace and empowerment
Nice.
From the inside out. So
that's amazing. That's really, I love that vision, because it's in our world we find, there's so much doom and gloom, and especially this time with the recession and all these different things going on, it's hard to kind of see the light. So how do you keep people motivated and uplifted?
Is to really see the doom and gloom that exists around us. It's always existed, and it's really a part of living. And you think of it, if you've ever been in a cave and you have one match and you light the match, what happens to the darkness? Just the light brings, it has so much power. And so that's what I continually mirror to people, and supporting them and recognizing what the resources are and the abundance that lives inside of them. And what I have learned is that people naturally want to live well, they just don't know how to at times. And when we don't know how to, is to stop and ask, what is it that I'm missing, or what is it that I'm needing? And
so kind of like giving tools for people that see where they want to be, but don't quite know how to possibly get there.
Yes, tools, and also, and inherently to learn more about trusting themselves. Because as soon as you begin to trust yourself, you see solutions. You create shifts in your life.
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, it's a whole different way of looking at life, I guess, right? And so you help people to kind of see this vision, get them from here to there. And
you're right, to help them to get from being frozen into stepping forward into feeling empowered and moving in a direction that is meaningful. And we know what thaws trauma or relieves our fear, and that is love and trust. It is so basic. If you wanted to know what's the secret, it is how to love yourself unconditionally and how to love others unconditionally.
Right.
And
well, I like one of the things that's on your website. I was reading about feeling disconnected.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll get that feeling where I'm in the moment, but I'm totally not in the moment, and I'm not knowing what's going on, and I'm feeling very stressed. Like, how you say that you can help break through those kind of barriers and be in the moment?
Well, being disconnected, first of all, is to, if I may say, it's like letting go of the judgment around it. Like because really seeing being disconnected as an opportunity that we are moving beyond what we ordinarily do into something that is new, and we've hit a block. That's all, and it's not unsurmountable. And so to supporting people, I'll give you several tips that I give to people. Okay. One is the tip, what if I back up? Imagine you're walking into an emergency ward and you've cut your arm, and there's a surgeon there, and she or he looks at your arm and they start hyperventilating. They go, what do you want to do? You want to sort of cover your arm, run, and go to another hospital. And that's what we often do when we feel disconnected. We look at our sense of disconnection and we go, and what we're needing to do is, one, is to stop and to breathe deeply into our belly. And to relax and to let go of what it should be like. And then the second is to realize no matter what, we have a choice. So first, breathe. Second, we have a choice. And third is to be able to set, what is it that we can do about this, and what is it that we can't do about this. And only pay attention to what we can do and let the rest go. And so I work with people in various degrees in helping them in the disconnection, whether it's with themselves or a relationship outside themselves, whether it's personal, whether it's professional.
So you cover the whole scope of everyday problems to problems that seem huge in people's lives. You're able to kind of bring it all back down to a level that's you're able to deal with it. Is that kind of the idea behind that?
Yes. You know, when we were speaking about, like, in the end, it's all about ourselves. Like, wherever we go, you know, we bring ourselves with us. And it is, when we're connected with ourselves, it's amazing. Like, it's like miracles that can happen in how we can create, you know, sustainable connection with others and what really matters. And
well, I think that this is a great time for this kind of thought and inspiration, because we are kind of moving forward in our focus from the outside and bringing it back into kind of reconnecting with nature and reconnecting with ourselves again, instead of living outside of ourselves so much.
You know, it's so necessary, because it's really is that this is a time, I believe, that we're really moving forward at a much faster capacity. And we now have the challenge that we actually have the ability to use up all the resources on this planet without any consideration for tomorrow, without any consideration for future generations. And if we can do it, we do it. And that is incredibly dangerous. And we're really having to go, whoa, come back, come back. You know, we have to show consideration. And you know, there's this saying, like, be the change. And I keep saying, be the awareness. Because change is happening fast, but it isn't positive always.
No.
And it is, like, in the awareness, that's where we come back into the connection. That's where we come back into the lightness of hope and faith and beauty and love. And those are strong, strong responsibilities. Do you remember when 9/11 happened? And do you remember the thoughts that came forward? Like, are my loved ones okay?
Oh yeah, that's one day I don't think anybody really forgets where they were, what they were doing.
Yes, and that was in the questions we ask ourselves is the direction in which we are finding the answers. So if we're asking, are our loved ones okay? Like, I mean, we immediately in a trauma or in a crisis, you know, our priority, you know, surfaces, doesn't it?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, your book here, now this is really unique because you didn't do this alone. You did it with your son. That's so cool. That's just what a wonderful way to spend time together, to be proactive. And he's a photographer.
Yes.
And these photos are amazing.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. It's been an amazing experience doing this book together with my son. It is one of a trilogy, and it's called Welcome Home to Yourself. I was told this, and I was warned by other published authors. They said the book is nothing compared to what's going to happen to your life after the book comes out. And I thought that's impossible. I mean, because this is all my life's gems, professionally and personally, because I share my own self-reflections in here rather than doing any case studies. Well, forewarned, Kimberly, if you choose to publish a book, the journey afterwards is amazing. It's like it just rocketed both my son into a world that we had no expectation of.
Oh, excellent. And also you're touching so many people with this book. I mean, the photographs paired with your words are so substantial when you read them. It just flows together so nicely. And I think it's a very calm book, almost like a meditative book if you read it. Like you feel very calm and serene.
Thank you.
Yes.
May I just read a little excerpt from it?
Of course.